All right, come on, you win, you get a video. All right, you happy now? Look, I love DC, and CMON just announced their next Kickstarter, and it's going to essentially be another Marvel Zombies zombicide game, this time Deceased. Look, guys, I don't know if I can even do this. This is, look, I'm gonna roll my logo, and we'll catch you back on the other side. Okay, I have so many questions. So they launched the trailer just today. It's super late. I was not going to post this video today. I already have a video. It's a news video. It'll be tomorrow now. This is coming up now. So I get to edit this and put all this out and then sleep all day is probably not what's going to happen. But seriously, I wanted to get this out because first of all, it just announced, but I want everybody to be asking questions. We need to figure out what we're wanting out of this, what's going on, and just in general, I want to tell you about it. So CMON posted a video announcing our next Kickstarter. And in it, they just show like a general like mayhem and stuff like that. And then boom, it says when hope, and it shows the logo of Superman's S symbol, right? And then dies, and it shows his arm off, and he's all like, ah. Now, when I first saw this, I almost thought it was DC versus vampires, because they're doing that kind of with the teeth thing. But nope, this is actually going to be Deceased. So if I come over here, Deceased, okay? Or DC, right? And so Deceased, the DC's capitalized, and then the East typically is not, but they put all capital there. Whatever, it loses its function, it doesn't matter. Okay, the point being is that this is obviously going to be massively huge. If it's their next Kickstarter, it means it's going to be their Q4 Kickstarter. And they only announce things typically within 2 months of launching it, okay? So this will be either in November or October, I'm not sure. Probably end of October, I would guess towards Halloween. In fact, I imagine with a thing like Deceased, they're wanting to launch right at the end there. That's right around when they did the Marvel Zombies Kickstarter that they did, and it just kind of makes sense with the zombies theme, right? So what is Deceased? Let's get that out of the way, and then we have some important questions I want to propose to you guys. So Deceased is essentially the same kind of story. There's an anti-life equation that Darkseid's after, and he finds half of it in Cyborg, and he melds them together, and it creates this like techno-organic virus that infects him and pretty much like the whole universe. So like there's like 1 billion people on the planet that are infected. A lot of the heroes become infected, right? But it's done in a very different way than the Marvel one. So this one was written by Tom Taylor, and he is a really great writer when it comes to comics. He introduces a nice level of ridiculousness, a nice level of really strong story beats, and also like humor and stuff like that. Like he does a really good job. He did the Injustice series a lot as well. He did great there, and he's just done a great job with all the DC stuff I've written there. So it kind of has a lot of that. There's actually hope involved here. It's not just like complete hardcore like gore. The Marvel Zombies one was by Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead, and was very much this gritty thing. Deceased is more of a ridiculousness, if that makes sense. There's gore and violence and zombies and stuff like that, but it's at a much more fun level, I guess is what I'd say. So that's Deceased. So anyway, and you can feel free to read that. In fact, just as an FYI, Amazon has like all of these, right? Free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you want to go through, and it starts at Deceased, and then there was the Unkillables, which follows the villains. It was kind of a spin-off, and then Hope at World's End, again a sequel, but still based in that universe, and then Dead Planet, which was like a hardcore sequel. And you can get all of that, by the way, for $0. I mean, I don't get any money from this, so I'm just letting you guys know. I'll go and link down to it below. If you guys want to read up on the comics, I can get it to you for free. As long as you sign up for Kindle Unlimited, you can do that. Now, the latest one, the ones they're doing now, War of the Undead Gods, is not quite free. You'd have to spend like $5 per issue or some junk like that. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know. Okay, so Deceased. Come on, what's going on? So the first question is, obviously, is this going to be compatible with Marvel Zombies? Now, I can guarantee you that if they don't make it compatible, then it will be compatible. Somebody will house rule it very well and post it on BGG, or you can house rule it. By all means, if you want Wolverine and Batman fighting against each other or with each other, you can do that. That's one of the joys of board games over video games, is they're completely modular in that sense. You can do pretty much anything you want. That being said, There's two things here. Assuming it's compatible. In fact, even if it is a different system, which I suspect it might be a different system, but even if it's the exact same thing, I think they would be stupid to not release a official. Yes, you can use them. With one caveat. So obviously, I think that would sell really well if they in fact, if it is slightly different rules and they have to sell you the new cards. Hey, this will bring your Marvel Zombies over to DC as an add-on. That's an instant they're going to make a ton of money on that. That's going to be the number one add-on people add. I almost guarantee it. That'd be huge to do. That being said, I would not be surprised if the IP holder, DC in this case, doesn't necessarily want them to produce that. Some official Marvel support in there. Sometimes they're really chummy together and they get along, and sometimes they don't. And I don't know what the current management's like or anything like that, or just what they really feel out of this other company, come on, doing this game, and whether or not they want that mixed or not. Typically, they probably want the focus to be on DC, and I can understand that from an IP holder. So I don't necessarily think that they will. If they do, though, it's going to be huge. And if they don't, check BGG or make your own house rules. And by all means, include them all together. That'd be huge. But it'll be a lot harder to do if the systems are different. Because at that point, then the cards you have for Marvel Zombies won't really work for DC. And vice versa, if you want to bring DC into the Marvel one. So hopefully they kind of work together. But at the same time, I almost don't want them to do the same system either. So it's kind of iffy. Now, will it be the same system? Yeah, I don't know. What is the version of Galactus here? Assuming they want to mimic Marvel Zombies, they had the big giant Galactus, right? The giant bigature, as I call it. What will the DC version be? It could be a Giganta. I know she's in there for a short time, but that's not really a well-known enemy. So Darkseid isn't large, so it couldn't really be him. I don't know who it would be. It includes everybody. Brainiac's in there and all sorts of stuff. But again, none of them are like giant things like Galactus is. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. It'd be kind of interesting to see if they did or not. Also, guys, it goes without saying. This is this channel. You guys know I call it how I see it. Will CMON pull the same crap that they did here? And what I mean by crap is not mentioning the retail alternative that's like cheaper, or manipulating the pledges to where you have to spend like $150 to get the extra pledge. Even though they're standalone, you have to buy both to get it, right? In this case, in Marvel Zombies, it was the one where you play as heroes, like the one I would be interested in. I don't mind the bad guys, like my heroes being bad guys, but I want to play the good guys. I don't want to play as a zombie version of a hero, if that makes sense. That's why I was kind of bummed about that when they did that in the Marvel Zombies, where you had to get that second pledge to get the main game plus that, even though it was standalone in that retail, you can just get it on its own. But so I don't know if they'll do that. I also don't know. This Marvel Zombies was the one where they did like this really big shipping price hike, where they like jumped it up after the campaign and stuff like that. So will they do that here? I doubt that. I don't think that one's going to happen. I don't know about the whole manipulative things to where you can't buy the two standalone separate. You have to buy one and then the other to get it. So if you want that, you have to spend extra. That's a very CMON move. And obviously keeping you ignorant around any other releases is in their best interest. So if there is a cheaper retail alternative like there was with Marvel Zombies, I don't suspect CMON is going to be telling you about it. So unless it gets leaked like the Marvel Zombies one did, they won't be mentioning it. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be. All I know is I'm really frustrated because some of the business tactics are not things that I appreciate. However, I love the DC superheroes. I've always been a fan of like Green Lantern and the Holy Trinity, right? So Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and I like Flash, and I like Green Arrow, and like I like all of their characters so much. I think Batman has the best rogue gallery ever, right? Followed by Spider-Man as second, and then actually I'd almost put Flash as third. He has a really good rogue gallery. I've always liked it anyway. But it just I don't know. What do you guys think? It's going to be big, though. Are we thinking it's going to be bigger than Marvel? I'm going to assume no. Just because Marvel has a lot of the mass market appeal that DC doesn't always pull. when it comes to like the movies popularizing. A lot of people say like they're Marvel fans, but that's because they've seen like the Marvel movies, not because they like read the comics or watch some Marvel shows or like the cartoons and stuff like that. Whereas, I've been reading DC comics and Marvel comics for a while, ever since I was a young adult, really, is when I first got into it. I did a little bit as a kid, but I didn't really have the money for it. But, watched all the cartoons growing up in the 90s and stuff as well. So, yeah, I'm a huge fan. I dig it. I'm excited. This is going to be big, and it's going to take up all my money. So if you would like to support seeing this on the channel, my Patreon is below. Dear Lord knows I'm going to spend their money on this. So it's an expensive hobby, and it's expensive to buy all these games for you guys. But for me too. I like them too. But yeah. Anyway, that's what they announced. Kind of a weird way to announce it, but. That's all we know right now. I'll keep you guys updated, so stay tuned for more information. And of course, tomorrow there is that news video that you were gonna see, but I had to kind of cover this. This is something. This is something. So, all right. Anyway, let me know your thoughts below. Seriously, if you have any concerns, if you have any like, well, I think this, or I would like to know this, or whatever, I can keep an eye out for you. So, let me know. And with that, have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys. Bye.